Okay, another Linux out of the box. This is Project Bluefin. This is really interesting. Have you gone through all the videos I've done already? You know, I've done tons of the distros, and Bazzite is the one that really stood out as being easy to configure and easy to use. And so what Bluefin is like the sister to Bazzite. And there's another one called Aurora, which I'll do. And the Bluefin version is based on GNOME desktop. And so, so it's one of these atomic commutable desktop type things where it's all pre-packaged for you and it's supposed to be really simple. I'm using the same machine as usual, which is the Ryzen 9, but this time I've actually got the 5060 Ti in there. So it's the same machine as the others really, but I've switched to NVIDIA because I've had to do some work. So so USB in, booting up, and there's a dinosaur at the bottom. So that's a good sign. But yeah, I mean, if it's anything like Bazzite, this should be pretty simple and it should be very usable. So what we'll do is we'll load on some software. We'll have a look at that. I mean, obviously the key thing, this is like out of the box. So this should be so easy for me to do as a user, Apple or Mac. And as you can see, it's a standard installer. So if I was coming over from Windows or I was coming over from Mac, this process of installation should be super simple and it should just work. Which, as you've seen from some of the other videos, Ubuntu, I'm looking at you, it just didn't, because it was obviously too driver dependent. Now, when you go to the Project Bluefin website, they've got 3 different versions you can download, and this is the LTS version. So there's an advanced version which is more customized, which is based off Fedora 42. This one's based off Fedora 41, and there's another version, and I didn't read that one too much. Anyway, just whiz through this. This is installing. It took a while. It doesn't seem to do that thousands of packages. It does once. So let's reboot this thing and then come back in and have a look at it. But nice desktop. I mean, you can't get wrong with dinosaurs, can you really? So the whole thing's run. There's a whole top level of this called Ublue, I believe, which is a way of making images and, creating ISOs. But it's beyond my scope, really, isn't it? I mean, I'm a user, so I didn't need to know about that. It all sounds amazing, but I just want to be able to install some software, play a game, run DaVinci Resolve, all this kind of stuff. I'll do a proper creator video on this and we'll go through it, obviously after I've got this installation done. So it's gone into a secure boot situation, and I'm just going to go straight in. So based off of Fedora, from Fedora Silverblue 41. And let that thing boot up. Dinosaur again, I like that. That's quite cute. Okay, we're on the desktop. So what have we got? Welcome screen. Next. Wi-Fi. Privacy, okay. Time zone. London, let's do that. Very slick. GNOME's really slick. I mean, I'm going to have a go. I think the Aurora is the plasma version of this, so I'll have a look at that one as well. I like plasma, but this is quite nice as well. Password, usual rubbish. Put that in there. And start using Bluefin. Okay, so let's have a look. Skip the tool. GTS, GTS version. So at the bottom, you've got the standard toolbar. You've got show apps, extra bits in there. What's going on? And let's do the updates first of all. Let's do system updates. Get that out of the way. So before I start fiddling with it, let's whiz through that. It's not that quick. But this is exactly the same way Bazzite updates. You just do one click, does everything like this. You don't see what's being installed. You just see chunks. And then you get the bit at the end, does explain. Then we're going to do a reboot. Let's just do a restart on this. That's great. So it's interesting. I mean, the easier sort of going on about with this, it's the easier they make this, the more people will use it. I mean, obviously Bazzite's amazing because obviously it's designed for gamers, it's built for gamers, and if you get more gamers on the platforms, they'll basically, people will gravitate to it. It's really driven like that. I mean, obviously AI is a big one, and you can do AI on these things really easily. There's certain software that doesn't run on Linux, like Adobe and things like that, but DaVinci Resolve, I mean, it's just as good, possibly better, and then pricing model and the way you pay for it's better. Oh, what's gone on there? I've got to change of desktop. All right, there we go. We've got a GNOME store. This is always the first thing. It's like, can I install software? And this is all designed around Flatpak, which is brilliant because that's pretty much the bulk of the software. So let's put Steam on here. There it is, straight away. It's a really snappy interface. Just install that. And then we can install Dredge. I have an MLS, and I did this on another installation. I thought I'd try something a bit bigger and put Cyberpunk on there, and it couldn't launch Cyberpunk. So that was like 63 gigabytes of download. That was a total waste of time. But yeah, so we'll just go back to Dredge because that's only 800 megabytes. Yeah, so just install this quickly. It shouldn't take too long. And then we'll have a look at what else we can install. I mean, I think I've given up doing the LibreOffice test. I mean, you just install it. I'm going to install it, but it's a given that you can do word processing on Linux platforms. The critical ones are content creation and games, aren't they? Really. So I mean, I do judge them on the ease. I've written so many DaVinci Resolve scripts, but I do judge them on how easy you can get DaVinci Resolve on there. Right, open. Now, this is probably going to do one of those silent installations where something flashed up. You've seen on other versions. I mean, Bazzite comes with Steam pre-installed, so you don't see this, but it does this silent thing where you think Steam hasn't installed or not working, where in fact it's doing this launcher thing in the background. So you just have to be wary of that because it's looking like it doesn't work, but it actually is, and it just bursts into life all of a sudden. Yeah, so I'm just waiting. This real time, so you'll sort of see what I mean. It's like you clicked on it and you expect a program to open straight away, but it's not done that. Let's just see. You can do it. So I'm getting bored now. I'm clicking around, waiting for it to happen. Give it a sec. I think it only does this the first time. It's this download. It's actually downloading the installer in the background, and then it runs. And once it runs quickly every single time. There you go, and it's fired off. So it's doing something in the background. It's downloading the installer or something, and we're in. So you just need to use a QR code or log into Steam. Yeah, this has I didn't think there's a different driver. When I looked at Aurora, Aurora, you have to select the different package. So much like Bazzite, you do AMD or NVIDIA. This one's just one. I didn't notice a different package. And it's got a 5080, which is the latest driver version and the latest MISA version on it as well. So it's all very kept up to date. But yeah, I mean, these sort of operating systems are just super simple for people to use, are really going to be the way forward with Linux to get it on. I mean, I've done loads of operating systems like Catchy and things like that. They're powerful and they're a certain group of people, but they're not really for the masses, are they? Let's put Dredge on here. There we go. Dredge, install. Let that kick in. I'll have a quick look around the rest of it. So first of all, this is installing some Proton compatibility, because obviously you play all your Steam games through a compatibility or translation layer, which is Proton, because I mean, that's a PC game. So we'll just let it do its download. But you can go, yeah. So having that store, the FlatHub store, is really cool, because basically I've had to install the FlatHub on loads of other distros because they don't use that one. So there's all the bits we've got. Anything else extra? What have we got in there? We've got, there we go. Oh, you've got FlatSeal. FlatSeal is a way to control your FlatHub, your Flatpak programs and what access they have. So it's a very neat way of doing it. It's got Games Remapper on there as well. But a lot of the way that you do the interface on this is similar to Bazzite. So if you use Bazzite, then this is going to be quite easy. I mean, I think this is more like if you don't want a games-focused one and you want a workstation, this could be the way to go, actually. I mean, I've tried Fedora, even though this is Fedora, I tried Fedora on this machine on both the AMD card and so on the 9060 and the 5060 RTX card, and I can't get it to work. And I just was, when I moved over to the NVIDIA, I thought, well, I'll get Fedora working. It basically, what it does, it goes, when it goes to Fedora 41, then it does an update to 42, and then black screens. So, and I was reading that there's something about recompile. I was like, the moment that you get to having to recompile, then you just give up. Anyway, so let's jump in and have a look at Dredge. But so far, I mean, this is pretty cool, actually. There's no glitches. I mean, it's just working, which is what you want, You want to just install stuff. I mean, the aim of operating systems is to get to software that they're their own purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's not, operating systems are great, but you can't work with them, can you? You need to be able to do things. So the ease of being able to do something is hugely important. Now, hang on a minute. I've got to save. Because I always start on this. I've saved at the island place. Confirm. Bet there's a save on there. Let's get that. There it is. Starlight Pontoon. It's by the big Kraken monster in the hole. Just a different. Here we go. So let's just sail out. Have a look. There we go. The fish. Great. Beautiful game, this. I mean, I've not looked at any of the others. The one with an oil rig or something. I should have a look at it, really, to support these people who are doing this, because it's 4 or 5 developers. And this is just superb, really, for what it is. And for that few people, when some of these games take billions of developers. And, I suppose at the end of the day, it's just the gameplay, isn't it, that matters. Let's just quit out of that. And let's come out of that. What else have we got? Yeah, so let's have a look. What are we going to do? LibreOffice, maybe. Yeah, let's put Office on here. Let's do it. Let's put Office on. It doesn't come up with that. It's Libre, isn't it? LibreOffice. LibreOffice. Must be there. There it is. So just pop that on there. Have a bit of a word processor moment. Yeah, so I mean, the other thing is I was looking at, I think there's a review on here for Ubuntu Studio. That's great, but that's so hyper-focused for audio. It's really weird. There's tons of audio apps and things like that. I mean, most if you're doing video creation, you need graphic design, graphic tools. So Photoshop type stuff, Vectorwork. You need your editor. You do need audio work, but I mean, you can do that Fairlight and simple audio editing. So it's really funny. I mean, Ubuntu Studio is brilliant, but it's very sort of focused on, it looks like audio. It's an audio engineer's dream, but that's great. I mean, but this, I like it so that you've got nothing. Like, when you install Windows or Mac, you've got nothing, and then you just add some stuff on top. But the trick is, it's got to be easy to install it, and it's got to run when you open it. And as you've seen by some of my other videos, once you get past the kerfuffle of putting an operating system on something, you really want to just install software and use it. So what else? Let's do Alpaca. Let's do some AI. So basically, Alpaca is a front end for, when I do the creator video with this, we'll sort of work with this a little bit. Alpaca is a front end. It's brilliant. It's a flat up front end for Ollama or any other AI, really, that's cloud-based. So Grok, you can connect to ChatGPT with the front end. It's just a front end without having to go through the whole rigmarole of installing, it's called Web GUI, which is the old way I used to do it. It's just great. You can talk to AI. So let's have a look. Let's do a default. Now, on Bazzite, this was brilliant. And I'm going to see if this works on here. There's a simple one-line command. You have to use one of my stupid scripts, and you can install Resolve. And so you just, there you go. That's great. There it is. Are you sure? Do not, yeah. So you just that's brilliant. So you download the zip file from DaVinci Resolve, from Blackmagic. You put it in your downloads folder. You run that command, and it should just go through the entire installer without any stress. If you've watched some of the other videos I've done, I know I've made scripts, but the time it took to get it to work, like OpenSUSE, I've had to write a script, but it was just awful trying to install DaVinci Resolve. I know there's lots of help guides online, but they are just help guides. You need one-click installation on everything. You don't want to have to do stuff. It's not how this works. It's like, I want to work, I want to do my Resolve, I want to play games, I want to do it in one click. I don't want to write a script. I mean, Linux has come a long way. I mean, it's not so bad. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is literally at that point. And they're basically covering off all the bases. Someone's actually gone, okay, They want to do this, they want to do that. So let's just put that on there for them. So this has been just as a sort of script of some kind. I don't know. They call them recipes. Right, so here we go. It's installing. There we go. It's great. Perfect. Any OS that comes with a Dissolve, like Nobara's got it as well. Any OS that comes with a pre-made DaVinci Resolve installer, it's a massive win. So it's installing all the stuff for me. And then it should launch first time if the drivers are correct. I wonder how this works on AMD cards, because AMD has horrendous issues with the hardware encoding. I've seen some stuff on the Nobara website about how to get VAPI working. I'm going to have to give it a go. VAPI, the encoder's working with AMD, but I have not had much joy with it, to tell you the truth, of my 960. Okay, so that's in. So that's in. You've got no desktop icons though, so that will be somewhere in software, he says. Now let's get this file up. There it is. So let's have a look. There it is. Brilliant. Now it should launch. Perfect. There you go. What are we going to do? Quick setup, skip install, just get it running. Now, if you've got a bad installation, you'll have some kind of can't detect GPU. That's straight in. That's really snappy as well. I don't think I've done many benchmark tests with DaVinci Resolve. I need to do this with the rendering and stuff on Linux. I could do a very easy comparison, I suppose, between Windows 11, because I've got it on another partition on this, and Linux, to see what's the difference between Windows and Linux for render speeds with the same piece of software. Okay, so I'm going to install Ollama now. It's really simple. And Ollama's the back end to running AIs. So you just need to pop this into console, paste, and it will install Ollama. Now, it does it a couple of ways. Sometimes it installs it, I've noticed this, and then it runs in the background all the time. I don't know we'll find out in a minute. But sometimes you have to run it every time you want to run Ollama, which is probably a better way of doing it, because sometimes the ones that run automatically leave the models in memory, and that's problematic, because obviously if you've got an 8 gig model in your video RAM, then that's not handy. It's just sitting there using your RAM. And also, I haven't tried it on this, but I may do it. The Alpaca comes with its own managed instance of Ollama in the background, so you don't need to do this bit. But I can't. Every one I've installed so far, it hasn't used the GPU for the AI part, so you end up doing your model in sort of like CPU, which is much slower. So I always do this because I know that this will actually do the AI element in the VRAM, because it should download, detect my processor, and off it goes. Detect my GPU, I should say. Here we go. Here we go. Nearly there. 90%. That's brilliant how far we come with this stuff. This used to be so setting up AIs and stuff. Yes, used to be an epic. So that's done. So that's in. And you can see it's like running at a certain IP address. So then what I need to do is basically just open Alpaca. And then with Alpaca, I need to just connect it to this, and it should run. But as I said, something to watch for is this bit where it doesn't run. It's downloaded. I don't think it did then, actually. Let's see. We'll launch Alpaca, and it might not be able to work with the instance, and so I need to run it, which is pretty simple. There it is. So, brilliant program this. It's really, really handy to have it on your desktop. There's tons of applications for having an AI locally. And if you've got a 16 gig video card, it's no excuse not to do it. So just jump into here, manage instances, and it'll try and get you to do an Ollama manager, which is the installed version, but we want to do the one that's, okay, let's click save. No, I don't think it's running. Because obviously what happens is, if Ollama's running, it'll pick it up, and that will save. So I'm going to have to jump out and go into terminal and run Ollama. Okay, so let's jump into terminal quickly. It's really simple to run Ollama. Just type Ollama just to see what's going on. Yeah, and then Ollama serve. If it's already running, you'll get a load of errors. If it's not running, it'll go. So Ollama serve, and you have to leave the window open. There you go, it's picked it all up, so it's running. So I'll minimize that window. There you go. If I minimize that window and then go back in, add it again, accept, and if I save it, it should say, there you go, yeah, so it wasn't running. So that's really simple, just need to run it and leave that console window. And we need to pull down a model, and let's get a baby one. Let's get Ollama 3.2, 1 billion parameter thing, which is tiny. Let's have another look around in here, what we've got. Mission control. I need to explore this a bit more. I didn't really do a good in-depth. So when I do the creator video, I'll probably go back into this and have a good look at it, because I'm sure there's more you can do with it. And I just watched a demo online with some guy, and there's much more to this than I figured out in the video. Because what I'm trying to do is find a way, when I run the model, is to show you it going into VRAM. So you can make sure that you've got it. Make sure your AI model has gone into VRAM and is being processed by the video card. So I may have to revert to using NVIDIA SMI to do that if I can't work out how to do it. I think this program needs a bit more investigation, really. Okay, what else we've got in here? Let's have a look. It's really nicely laid out, all this. It's really, what's that? Connections, papers, I don't know. It's very well done. I have to say, this is very well done. There you go. So there's LibreOffice, and I forgot about that. LibreOffice, NVIDIA server. I'll share my NVIDIA's things running. And there you go, look. So that's up, and there we go. What else we've got now? I'm going to test the AI. And to do this, I need to make sure this is installed first. Oops, spell it properly. If you run NVIDIA-SMI, it tells you about your video memory. It's a bit of a scrunched up window. I'm recording this, so it's at 1080p. There you go. So if you look at the top there, NVIDIA is I've got 615 meg of video memories being used, and it shows you what applications are using what. Steam Helper. So if you type in this command, watch-n.5, and then run NVIDIA SMI, it'll just sort of update, it'll loop and update and show you how the video memory is used. Right, so there we go. Let's get that. How do we position this? I want to run my model, too many windows, in 1080p. There's Ollama. Okay, so what we want to do is you want to watch where it says 510 megabytes. 510, if I can get this working. Oh, come on. There it is. Jumped up to 3000. See, then that's the model loading into memory. So it's a tiny model. You've got all the tools. You've got tons of stuff. I mean, the best one to use is ChatGPT OSS on a 16 gig card, because it just fits in and works. But there you go. And you can change controls to how long the memory is at there, how long the models stay in memory. A great Alpaca, it's like worth its own video, to tell you the truth. I need to do its own video. But yeah, so now if I close the window, Ollama will shut down. Let's see, and there you go. The video memory, if you saw it, drop down to 418, which is great, because that means it's discharged the video memory, the AI model from video memory. Anyway, there you go. That's a really impressive, to say the least. I mean, Bazzite's brilliant for all the same reasons. This is more focused on games, but if you don't want to focus on games and you want the same level of service, then I can't recommend Project Bluefin enough, because this is just a really nice way to use Linux so far. Nothing's gone wrong. It's all just worked, which is what you expect. So yeah, all the GNOME desktops the same and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's absolutely spot on. What have we got there? Steam's running. And there was a thing I spotted, you can actually use Tailscale directly in the interface, and it's got power mode management. I need to look at this. But this is a really cool operating system, a really cool version of Linux. I'm going to do one on Aurora, which is the sort of KDE Plasma-based version. But yeah, so that's a really good one. So give that a go. So thanks for watching.